housekeeping items, and I'll pass it over to Mr. Dillard as well. There we go. Awesome. Okay, so welcome. This is kind of like our fourth session if you count the kickoff webinar, but technically the third session. This is all about coaching, accountability, and answering your questions. Really excited to hear how you guys are doing. Love seeing all of the wins inside of the Skool community, so keep those coming. And we still have people joining the Skool community every day. I mean, I let a bunch of people in today, so we appreciate everybody sharing the word. And the 30,000 students in 30 days is Century's, industry-wide initiative to boost new students in the martial arts schools. And we are here to help enroll 30,000 students in 30 days. We're doing that through internal and external marketing systems that are low expense and really to get the community to come to you. As always on these sessions, please come with an open mind, ask questions, get in the chat. We will do our best to moderate the chat and make sure all of your questions get answered. But most importantly, we've got to do the work. If you have not joined the Skool platform just yet, we want to make sure that you guys get inside. So if you have not, I'll drop the link. That's where everything that you need, recordings, assets, forms to fill out, that's where you can get it. And sure enough, the coins have started coming in. We had Mr. Mike here post that he received his first 5 coins from Century, and they are legit. He said they look and feel great. Anyone else get theirs? So you guys should be having those come in. And Mr. Dillard, if you want to share real quick, how can they, if they got their 5 coins, they need to order more, what does that process look like?
Yes, guys. So what I've done is shipping these things is it could be a little bit burdensome. So I've got these listed out on Century's website in 2 different ways. So some people have asked me if they can buy additional coins for like students who referred or, outside of the month of September, either before or after this event. And so what I've done is I've listed the coins at cost. So we're not trying to make money on this at the retail level. So if you just go to Century's website and you would like to just buy coins and pay for them, then you can do so by just going to the website, do not log in, and you'll get the at cost price, which is $2.49. So we're kind of using the honor system in terms of just people have asked me if that's going to be an option. So I put it out there. And then for the free coins, which is part of this initiative for everybody who's going to track their students, which Chris, I think we're going to be going over how to do that today. Is that correct? So
yes,
I'd ask that so that we can keep track of all the students we're doing in this initiative and try to reach our goal that everybody please track the amount of students that you have, put it into Skool. And then on Century's wholesale side on our website, you guys can add those for free. The deal is that the shipping is still going to get added on there. It's not too expensive, but the idea behind that, just try to maximize the amount of coins that you guys want. Again, they are completely free. It'll show up as $0. It's just we can't be, shipping 1 every day, for instance, is not a good way to do this. So you want to ship 5 to 10 to 20. It's up to you guys. I'm not trying to hold anybody accountable. I want people to sign up more, as many people as possible, and I will shoot you guys out the link for that on the Skool platform. So you have both options. It's very easy. And if anybody has any issues at all, again, please just shoot me a message and I will personally help you guys do this. And we have our marketing team behind me that is kind of watching, making sure no problems exist and everybody gets everything as seamless as possible. But to get the free ones, it's not meant to keep people to sign up if they aren't already our wholesale customers. I think pretty much everybody who's a part of the initiative is, but you'll need a wholesale login to get that free price point on him. So does that work? And if anybody wants to shoot me messages, I'll shoot those links out and get them over to you guys right now. They're ready to ship as of today. So we'll get a restock in this afternoon as well.
And I saw last week I don't know if you were in your office or at your house, but you were stuffing envelopes yourself. You got the CEO of Century.
Did 1,000 of them myself with my son. So they are hand packed.
Awesome. Leading by example. Thank you, sir. That's how you guys can get them. And we will drop those links inside of Skool. What else do we have? Don't forget your Century discount. The promo code goes from August 27th to September 17th. So you still have some days. Use the promo code 30K students. Mr. Dillard, anything else you want to add on that, sir? Just wanted to do a little reminder.
No, again, that'll get you 15% off any uniform that we sell. So you guys take advantage of that. It'll be going until next Tuesday.
Awesome. All right. So far, if you have been on with us live or you've watched the recordings, you've had some action steps from our first session, book your open house, which we're seeing all of your flyers you guys are posting inside of school, which is awesome. Getting the dates down, getting the marketing materials out, launching your referral program, and starting the ticket tornado. If you were watching my session on how you can, just utilize digital marketing to get the word out, setting up database reactivation emails and texts, and we talked about how to leverage ChatGPT. We actually give you the script inside of the recordings area that you can just copy and paste and drop in ChatGPT. Wanting to make sure you get your offer online with, social media posts. Challenged you to get into a free community Facebook group as well, and then optimizing your Google business profile and time blocking your appointment settings. So making sure you have time on the calendar every week to pick up the phone and invite people to your open house or invite them for your enrollment special. The last set of action steps were to distribute your free passes, really getting the entire team involved. Implement double referral rewards and display the countdown of 30 in 30. So enrollment numbers inside of the school community, under classroom, under student enrollment. This is where you can submit it. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link right now. If you have not done that, submit your new student enrollment. So this is not trials. These are actual new students. And we'll do this each week when we meet, have an opportunity to get those numbers in. We've already seen hundreds of submissions, which I absolutely love seeing. So make sure you're staying on track with that, guys, and sending us your enrollment numbers inside of the school platform. Okay. So when we, sat down, the three of us, to talk about and our teams to talk about what the outline of these sessions should look like, we wanted to get all of the pertinent information, the things that you needed in the first two sessions, and then we wanted to use the remainder to really help you with coaching, accountability, and answering questions. So this morning, I actually went through the school community and I took some screenshots of some questions that were asked. Some of them didn't have any responses yet, so I wanted to get these on board. We have a handful of these, and we'll ask Mr. Metzger to kind of answer these questions. And then any other questions that you guys have, drop them in the chat, and we'll be sure to get to them today. So, Mr. Metzger, first question up. Open house event name. We always seem to get hung up on the small stuff. Anyone care to share what you're naming your event? Trying to get ideas. So what's your thought process on that, sir?
First, congratulations on owning that you seem to get hung up on the small stuff. We call it our open house. That's the theme. We don't theme our open house. It is our open house. Now, remember, your open house is the theme. But it could be a anniversary event. It could be a family fun day event, but an open house is an open house. It's the description that you put on what the open house is that will entice people to get excited about coming to your event. For example, demos, prizes, giveaways, free martial arts class, board breaking, food, whatever it is. And it's about how you sell it or how excited you are when you make the announcements to your own students and families, because the majority of the people that come to this open house will be guests of your current students.
Awesome. All right. Thank you, sir. Next up, community partners. How do you get other businesses and community departments to participate in your community open house? I've been wording it as a free community health and safety awareness day. So far, I'm 0 for 22. I'm running out of businesses and town departments in our small town to approach.
Well, first of all, I would need to know what you're saying to them. So let me give you an example. If you walk into a business the first thing that you should say is, hey, we have a martial arts school business down the street, and we have a lot of families and students, and we wanted to work together and see if you guys have anything that we can help market to drive more business or more traffic to your business. Do you guys have any specials, coupons, flyers, or anything we could put out? Who would I talk to about that? That's the first thing that you would ask. Then once you get in front of the person, say, yeah, look, we just have a lot of families. We want to network with other businesses. Do you guys want us to put some flyers on our counter or in our school? And then I would say, and hey, by the way, we're going to be doing a big open house on Saturday, September blank, whatever that date is, where we're expecting a bunch of people. Would you want to have a booth there to promote your business? That's the next question. Then depending on the business you're there, say, well, look, would it be possible maybe to have free samples, or, like we got Tijuana Flats to donate free chips and salsa and food. We got Publix, our grocer, to put out free food. I mean, so it really just depends on the presentation. And it's interesting you asked the question, because listen, everybody, I know how hard this is. I said this from the first thing. You guys are going to take all these ideas, and some of you are going to hit it out of the park, and some of you are going to strike out. For those of you who strike out, it doesn't mean it doesn't work. It's about your presentation, and you got to learn from it. You got to always ask yourself, how can I have done this better, or how could I have done it differently? Unfortunately, we can't be in all your schools. I can't watch a bunch of videos on you approaching businesses or making the announcements to your students. You really got to understand it's how you do something, not what you do. And that makes the biggest difference. So yeah, we don't really have a problem getting businesses to participate because of the way we approach them.
I love it. Reminds me of the famous Jim Rohn quote, which I know you're a big fan of, Mr. Metzger. What's in it for me, right? And sometimes when we present, we don't consider what's in it for the other businesses. We're just kind of talking about what's in it for us. So I would go into it with that mindset. Next up, how to promote in a residential area. Would anyone happen to have suggestions to get the word out on the open house? I'm doing Facebook and Instagram posts and have contacted the few local businesses around me, but we're largely in a residential area. Additionally, I can't do a ton of posts on social media since we have another event the weekend before that needs to be promoted. Trying to get it on the radar of people who we don't normally interact with.
When we do an open house, again, I'm trying to be conscious of budgets, right? Sometimes we'll put money towards marketing, but extremely rare when we do an open house. As a matter of fact, I may even have on my phone, we're doing what you're doing. My schools are doing an open house, and I'm trying to I like proof is in the pudding, and that'll answer the question. But I just texted one of my school managers, and I said, hey, just an FYI, I'm going to be doing my daughter's birthday party at our World Training Center. That's one of our schools, because it's very, very big and open. And I said, it's going to be Saturday, October 5th from 7:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. She's a teenager. And I also said, I'll make sure it's clean by Monday. Her response was, at the school? I said, yeah. She was just confirming, because that's also our fall open house event, right? Well, the reason I bring that up is all of our schools are doing an open house. None of them are going in the residential area. As I said to the last question, the majority of people will come from our leads, from our own students and families of our school. We will get a ton of people there just from those categories by itself. Anything you can do above and beyond is going to be gravy. Now, the next thing I will tell you is the week of your open house. If you're doing an open house, let's just say, for example, you're doing it next Saturday. Well, next week, we will schedule a buddy day that week, or a buddy week next week, and invite all those buddies to the open house. We will try to get into a school and do a PE teacher for a day, or a school talk on bullying or safety, and let all of those kids know about our free community event that Saturday. We will call all of our leads next week and invite them to our open house that Saturday. And in the meantime, for the weeks leading up to our open house, we have our prizes, and we're promoting it to our students. and letting our students know that every friend they bring to the event, they're getting tickets to get extra chances to win the prizes. So that is pretty much our MO on how we get people to an open house. And I could probably tell you that I'm counting on at least 15 new enrollments at our open houses. 15. So, I mean, that's what we do.
All right. So tailoring advice on the open house. We've had actually quite a few school owners in this kind of similar situation. Don't have their own facility. They hire spaces. So in this particular situation, they're hiring a space inside of a UK leisure center. Classes run on 2 weekdays. So to run an open house, I would need to hire out a space on a Saturday for a specific period of time rather than all day. Any advice on how else I could tailor the open house to suit my needs?
Okay, so listen, anytime, you know, when we give these examples, for example, open house Saturday, 10 to 2, you know, that's when we do it. Reverse engineer what we're trying to do here. All we're trying to do is have some type of event at our facility to get leads there, number one, to get recruiting. And number two, what can we do to retain our students better by making it just a fun event where our students are going to get a little more ingrained into our school. So if you're running classes on 2 weekdays and you need to hire out or rent out a space on a Saturday for a specific, that's getting tough. So maybe what I would do is I would pick a day that I don't have. I would cancel classes on one of the weekdays that I'm in the facility, and I said, and I might say, guys, you know, we're going to cancel classes because we're going to do a martial arts class, but we're going to do a big open house day, and it's going to be from 5 to 7 p.m. Maybe it's only 2 hours. At the end of the day, I just need a reason to get people to my facility, have some demos, create some excitement, draw some prizes, and get some enrollments. So everybody's situation is a little different, and you got to be able to bend and just remember what we're doing it for, and that'll help you figure out how to fit it to tailor your needs or your whatever your space you have available.
All right. This isn't really pertaining to the open house, but it is a partnership in education play. So after school programs, I just had a second PTA contact me wanting to do 2 4-week courses, one in the fall and one in the spring. With vacations and closings in November, December, what do you think is the best weeks to do a 4-week course in the fall?
So Mr. Manili, whatever 4 weeks you can do where there's not breaks. But also don't forget, maybe you do 2 weeks. You do a Tuesday, Thursday, and a Tuesday, Thursday. It's still 4 classes. So if you have to combine two days in a week and do it over 2 weeks, do it over 2 weeks. But I wouldn't know the best weeks to do a 4-week course, because the best weeks are the weeks where we could do 4 weeks in a row and have a graduation on that Saturday for all those kids that completed the course.
All right. So we're going to dive into some of the questions that you guys are dropping in the chat. And if you have additional, please feel free to do that. So one of them was, Mr. Metzger, for the raffle drawing, should we do, you must be present in order to win?
Again, don't overthink it. All the little prizes that we do, you are present. Because remember, we draw prizes every 30 minutes. So we kind of want them to be present for some of the little prizes. We could just rapid pick a few winners on the small prizes every 30 minutes. For the grand prize, no, we didn't make it where you had to be present, because we do it at like the end of the day. So number one, I didn't want people just all showing up at 1:30 or 30 minutes before the end of the day. And I also didn't want people staying there from 10 o'clock in the morning until 2. So, you know, we'll draw the grand prize. The thing is, though, is you did have to attend the event. So you had to show up to the event at some point, right? And you do that with name badges and however you want to do it. But this is one of those things where it's not going to be wrong if you have to be present, and it's not going to be wrong if you don't have to be present for the grand prize. However, I will tell you, because of cost and excitement, we like to pie your instructor in the face. And if those are your grand prizes and you have four or five grand prize winners, well, obviously you need to be there for that, right? Somebody just sent me a video of their open house. They said we could share it, and I just saw it last night. But you should see they're outside, their instructors are sitting in chairs and they count to 3 and they get pied in the face. You hear all the kids cheering. I mean, so again, reverse engineer what we're doing this for. I don't want here, but listen to this. I don't want any of you doing an open house. I don't want you doing an open house. What I want is I want all of you to get at least 30 new students in September. Now, how are you going to do it? Well, open house is one way to help you get there, right? But if you can't do an open house, that's no problem. If we were consulting, and let's just say I don't have a facility, I don't have room, I can't do it, whatever, then the dialogue would be, okay, we still need to get 30 students. So what is it that we are going to do to get the 30 students? I told you for doing this for 25 years, we've been in business over 30, but we haven't been doing open houses for 30. I would say we've been doing open houses for 20 to 25 years. And we're going to get about 15 new students. This works very well from us, but you're talking to somebody who's been doing it for 20 plus years. If this is your first time doing it, you're going to learn a lot from it and then adjust, right? Adjust. We could get away with doing 2 of these a year, but we won't call it an open house. We'll call it an open house, and then we may call it an anniversary party or a summer kickoff party if we're going into summer to try to get a bunch of leads in before summer. Just remember the reason why we're doing what we're doing, and then it'll ease your minds a little bit.
One of the things that we did at my Academy Gracie Pack for some of the awards towards the end is we actually did a Facebook Live. So yes, you had to be there. You had to participate in the open house. But when we were raffling off like the Nintendo DS or the Razer scooter, we went live on Facebook for anybody that wasn't there. They could see if they won. So that might be an option for you guys as well. Next question.
Hey, real quick, by the way, when back in the day when we would have a scooter or a bike, our instructor would ride it around when he's making the announcements, you know, and make it exciting. If you have a drone, you might fly that drone up and say, guys, who wants the free drone? Way back in the day, now I'm dating ourselves, we'd get a big boombox, a big stereo boombox with lights on it and stuff, and we would play that in the class and say, someone's going to win this. Again, everything was designed to just create excitement.
Next up, should the enrollment special be listed on the open house flyer? Or just that there is an enrollment special?
No, enrollment specials. That's what you want to put on the flyer. You don't put what the special is.
All right. And then next one, I'm feeling like our memberships, friends, and family have dried up as a resource. How do we reach beyond that?
Say that one more time now.
They're feeling like their students and their families are kind of drying up as a resource.
Well, that would be a discussion because here's the thing, though. They could be drying up as a resource for martial arts lessons, okay? But I don't know who dries up as a resource to come to a party. We're inviting them to a party, right? And some of you may say, but I get the same buddies over and over. The same buddies keep coming over and over. That's our fault if they're not getting excited enough to enroll in your school. That's our fault. And by the way, if you're getting the same buddies to show up over and over, the more looks, the better chance you have at getting them excited to become students eventually. But again, maybe you feel that way, right? Because maybe you're saying, hey, take a free month, free class, free this, free that, buddy day, you know, and you feel that way. But this is inviting everyone to a party, number one. Number two, here's a question for all of you. Be honest with yourselves. What did you do in the month of August? Proactively, not reactively. What did you do in the month of August proactively to get new students in your door? And I don't mean pushing a button and posting on social media. So take away the social media, take away the fact that you may have paid GoPro to run ads for you. What did you personally do to get leads and get students? So let me give you examples. In the month of August, did anybody go run a booth at a fair or a festival or farmer's market or anywhere? Did anybody set up school talks? Did anybody set up Partners in Ed for school to start? Did anybody have a instructor for a day? Did you run a buddy day in the month of August? If you're doing these things, all of you should have a ton of leads because nobody's enrolling 100% of their leads, right? But if you're not doing this stuff, okay, then it's tougher because what we do is we open our school, we go in and we hope to God the phone rings or that people start walking in. And the world just doesn't work that way for most of us. For most of us. Some of us are in communities and in centers where we get a ton of walk-ins and a ton of leads, but it's not something you can count on and bank on for the majority of you. You have to go out and you have to get it. But the other thing that I will tell you is what percent of your community wants to do martial arts? What percent of your community wants to do martial arts? None of you know that answer, but you all should know that it's a fraction of a percent of the community that wants to do martial arts. So then you say, well, how do I get people to my building? Well, it's not by promoting all martial arts. It's by promoting the values and benefits that people want that martial arts can get them. So if I want people to come to my school, I want to promote, you know what? There's a lot of bullying in the schools. I'm going to do a free bully seminar and I'm going to promote that to the school systems or, you know, goal setting for the new school year seminar. I gotta market that kind of stuff. That's why when you feel like things are drying up, well, how many open houses are you doing each month? Why would that dry up, right? We're going to have demos, prizes, food, giveaways. We get a bounce house. Who wouldn't want to come to that if you're a kid, right? So again, it's the presentation of how you deliver your message that's going to get you the best results.
Next question, running into the issue of giving the tickets, what would be the best time to hand out tickets? Before, after, during?
Whenever you feel is the best time in your school with the flow that you have. I have no idea. And by the way, if anyone on here tells you, nope, absolutely before, they'll give you a reason before, but it's based on how they run their schools. Maybe you do it right at the end. If you guys do a class huddle at the end, okay, guys, huddle up. We're doing a class huddle before we dismiss. Here's the tickets. Or do you want to do it in the beginning because you collect cards and you put stripes on belts? Here's your ticket. Oh, Johnny, you have a buddy here. Here's your ticket. Maybe that's better for you. So again, don't overthink it. Just whenever you feel like you can be efficient and giving out the tickets.
When you're charging for just $50 for a whole family, what is your attrition rate when in month 2 you ask them for $150 a month?
Used to be higher than normal. It was never really high, but it was absolutely higher than normal until we told everybody when they enrolled on that special that we will be in touch with them next week to set a one-on-one appointment to sit down with them to find out what exactly they would like to see themselves or their child get out of this program and tell you more about what we do here at our school. And we're going to do that one-on-one appointment. And then basically what we're doing is we're setting up enrollment conferences without needing to get the enrollment because we already got it. But we are doing one-on-one appointments. If you do not do one-on-one appointments, your attrition will be higher, number one. Number two, remember, we do 12-month programs. So we don't take people to court and all that stuff that was going on in the 80s, 90s. We don't do that stuff. But people know they have 11 payments of X. They're financing a program. However, we still would have people just disappear. We don't go after them until we started doing the one-on-ones. So you got to do the one-on-one appointments. If we enroll 15 people at an open house and it's crazy and it's just fast, we just say, don't forget, we're going to be in touch next week. We're going to set a one-on-one appointment. So look out for our call. And we're going to set that up to go over the values and benefits of the program, find out more specifically what you'd like to see your child get out of the program, and tell you more about what we do here besides just kicks and punches. And they say, great. And then you got to call them. And we call them on Monday. We don't wait till Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. We will call everyone and set those appointments up. And that helps with your retention rate.
Follow-up question to that, is that done in person or on Zoom?
We do in person. We do not do Zoom. Now, if you don't have the ability to do in person, you do it on Zoom. But we do it in person.
Next question. The one issue I am having is why wouldn't my current students be upset that the new students are getting a better deal?
Because of the announcements. If you watch the previous recordings of this, I mentioned that people can be upset if you do that. However, we don't have anyone get upset when we promote the open house, because we make the announcement to our students and families that because the people attending are current students or friends and family members of current students, we decided we're going to give them a special if they would like to enroll, just because they are your guests coming to the event. And then we don't have people get upset. They actually, what happens when you do that is, a lot of times when the students are inviting friends, they tell them, and they're going to have specials, man, if you want to sign up, if you want to enroll. How do we know that? Because when we enrolled, when we made the announcement and people said we're interested, yeah, our friends told us there'd be specials, we hear it. So that's even better, social proofing. But you got to make that announcement, let them know, because they are guests and friends and family members of our students, we decided we're going to give them a special if they want to enroll.
Next up, who do you have running the classes during open house? Should it be me, the head instructor, or assistant staff members? And then
It
also,
should be, go ahead.
Also, do you have your current students take classes alongside the prospects during the open house?
Yes, yeah, all the students, everybody is required to take the class. So the students jump in as well. I think I mentioned this as well, because in order to get the free hot dog or the free cotton candy or the free snow cone or get on the bounce house, you have to have your hand stamped. And you can't get your hand stamped until you've taken a class and broken a board for us, right? Now, maybe you're a jujitsu school and you're not doing boards, but you've got to take class to get the hand stamp, and then you can get on the bounce house or get your free snow cone or whatever it is. So everybody is mixed in together because it's part of the excitement and the culture to have students and leads there. You don't want to have a class. Some of you might, especially later in the day, some of you may have a class where there's like 4 people in class. It's hard to have energy when there's 4. And if you just did it for leads, you wouldn't have it. And as far as who should be teaching, you should absolutely have a qualified instructor on that floor with assistants, because when you have big groups, we got to do line drills. So let's say you have 30 people. Well, you might have 5 rows of 6 people. So I need a head instructor and 4 assistants. I don't even care if it's a parent holding a target. We're doing line drills. We got music going, but a lead instructor is explaining whatever it is that you're teaching. And remember, your job is not to teach martial arts in a 20-minute open house class. Your job is to excite them, to show them, man, I'd really love to do martial arts. That's your job. Your job is not to teach them technique and start fixing their hands and telling them switch feet and all that stuff. You'll lose every student.
Okay, those were all the questions that have been submitted. If you guys have any more, please drop them in the chat. While we're waiting on those questions coming in, oh, we just got one. With multiple schools in close proximity, would it be best to do an open house in each location or all together?
Depends on your staff and your staffing. We have 9 locations in close proximity, and they're each doing their own open house. However, we have a lot of staff. I just asked yesterday, as far as how many staff members do we currently have in our schools? We have 69 staff members that work in our martial arts schools. Now, we also have offices up here, right? We have a whole team of people in a corporate office. But yesterday, I specifically asked this. We have more than enough people where everyone's doing their own open house, but you can combine them. And then you would just ask people, we have 2 convenient locations for you. Which would be the most convenient? Because you can bring all the staff in one place, and it may be easier for you to run if you don't have enough staff members.
Mr. Metzger, as we're waiting for more questions coming in, what would you say maybe are the top 2 to 3 biggest mistakes that you see school owners make when they're doing these open houses?
I've never made a mistake doing an open house, Chris.
Oh gosh, this guy.
What? No, thank you, guys. Hey, if you're not confident, guys, so go ahead and sign off now. Kidding, I'm kidding. I think the biggest mistake is what we're seeing here, and it's common. You're overthinking it. do you understand that the open house is just a name, and it's just a reason to have an event to get people to your building? And then whatever you want to do to show people that martial arts is fun and there's values and benefits to training to get them excited to enroll, do it. You don't, I mean, everything we do, bounce houses, all that, it's just a gimmick to just get more people exposed to what we do. So don't overthink it. I think that's the biggest problem. And don't get nervous. I mean, at the end of the day, talk to the people. Just say, hey, folks, look, you know, we're so appreciative of you coming out. And, you know, normally our price, you know, if somebody wants to enroll is this, but because we're having this event, we have a special for everybody if you're interested, and it's today only. And just don't be nervous. Just tell them the truth. Tell them the deal, right? But it's up to you on what you do on that mat that's going to get them to want to do this or not, right? And there's two battles here. The first battle is you got to get people to the event. Then the second battle is once you have them there, what kind of experience are they going to have, right? And we want them to have a great, fun experience. And that's why it's also great to have the students mixed in with the guests, because some of the students are inspiring. And why do we have demos? Because we want to inspire them. People buy what, guys? They buy on emotion. People buy on emotion. If you can inspire these people, if you can make these kids or these adults feel empowered, inspired, feel happy, they're having fun, you're going to get them to enroll. The problem is, and we learned this, and this goes back to that other question, problem is you inspire and motivate them so much, they sign up on a whim. Then they have buyer's remorse unless you get that one-on-one meeting. And you really explain to them how you are different than any other sport. We care about how your kid does in school. I care about how you're doing at home. Whether you're an adult or not, we're here for you. We got your back. I mean, that's what sells. You want people to feel like they're part of a community and that you're delivering whatever it is your customer wants. Okay? And that everybody wants to feel empowered. Everybody wants to feel praised. Everyone wants to feel important. So don't overthink it. That's the biggest mistake I see.
Got a really great question here from Mr. Keffer. How much staff would you want to have in an ideal situation, and what would each of their roles be?
2.5 people typically is the model. 2 full-timers, 1 part-timer, and you can do that with, 200 students, right? Even when I open a new school, we used to open a school with 1 full-time person. But again, if you can afford it, and what we do is we'll always open a school with 2 full-time people and a lot of times a part-time person, right? But if you are one of those full-time people, if you are the owner and you're a full-timer, and you're working in your school as the instructor, then I would hire a part-time program director.
The question was specific for the open house. How many volunteers? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, all staff is required to be at the open house. So whoever you have, they should be required. Remember when I talked about the open house and I said you need volunteers to do the sign-in table, you may need a volunteer to do cotton candy or popcorn or snow cones, and I said rotate them every hour. In a perfect world, that should be your staff, like your staff, right? We need people that can enroll people, right? At a sign-up table, you need maybe 2 or 3 people there that have pre-filled out agreements or clipboards where they can fill out their information, run credit cards. We can input them later, right? We need efficiency. So as many people as that you can have at an open house, the better. However, I'm giving you an answer based off of our open house where we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people. If you know you're going to only probably have, maybe you're a school with 20 students and you think you're only going to have 50 people, you could have 3 people doing that. 1 stays on the floor and then the other 2 are kind of bouncing around and helping out, right? So, but all staff's required at our schools.
Question about not having a big school. So once again, I don't have a big school, 800 square feet. You mentioned last time about having one-on-ones instead of an open house. Would you charge for the one-on-one?
Say it again. Now, would I charge for a
You
one-on-one?
mentioned, yeah, would you charge for one-on-ones? If you don't have the space to do a big open house, would you charge for one-on-ones?
No, I would not. No.
Best type of businesses to contact for support and prize donations.
All of the businesses, like I said earlier, we've done grocery stores, Tijuana Flats, Perry. If you could unmute Corey Day, do you remember what other places he got to partner up and donate all the food? I think he got pizza places, maybe Pizza Hut donated pizzas.
Ice cream shops, Italian ice places. We had chiropractors donating massages and adjustments right there. They would set up their booths and donate some services that they offer. We've had it like literally every single business. Restaurants tend to want to donate as well. So ice cream shops are the ones that the kids like too. So that's a good one to have there to draw people to the event.
You know, I wish I could help more. Obviously, I don't know the logistics of everybody. I'm doing a group call like this, but we really have no problems. We have more than enough donations and food when we do open houses.
Any advice on contacting fire and police about doing something?
Here's my advice on contacting anybody to do something. Go show up in person and ask, we want to do something for the community to keep our kids more safe or teach them. Do you guys have availability on Saturday blank to maybe come down with a fire truck, hand out some pamphlets on fire safety or just stranger danger safety or anything? Can you spare a deputy maybe for a half an hour or to leave a car there for the day? That's it. Again, don't overthink it. That's what we do. You know, at the end of the day, I used to ask clients that are in our consulting program, I'd ask them, would you work any differently if I called you up and said, hey, I hate to say this and let you know, but I wanted to be courteous to let you know I'm opening a school across the street from you in 2 months. Would you work any differently if you knew I was going to open a school across the street from you in 2 months, or would you just keep doing whatever you're doing? Well, if your answer is you would do something different, then start doing something different. Because while you guys, when I say this as a general statement, while you all are wondering, well, you know, well, what do I say, or how do I talk to the school systems, or how do I talk to the police, or by the time you figure that out, I already have it done. I'll already be there. Not because I'm better, just because I don't think, I just go. I just go there.
I'd love to know, guys, in the chat, based off of what we've just spoken about, the questions that popped up, what is your next action step? And I'm sure you might have multiple steps, but what is like the next thing that you know you need to do? Drop that in the chat so we can make sure that we're all leaving today with a game plan on what we have to take action. So take a second, think about that, drop that in the chat.
While you're doing that, while you're putting in your action step, you know, there's this fine line. Chris and I always battle about this. Chris, can you hear me, Chris?
I'm ready. Let's go.
We always battle about, Chris always tells me people are attracted to success. Am I accurate so far? I don't want to speak for you.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. And she says, I need to post more about my success. Is that accurate?
Success habits. Yes.
Okay. Success habits. And I tell Chris, that's just not me. Like, I'm not posting my success habits. Every time I go to the gym, she goes, if you don't take a picture, it didn't happen. Right? I mean, I got scars on my face from training. I'm still a martial artist, but I'm not posting. And by the way, if you've seen some posts of me with some training, it's just because Chris, she's forcing me. But why am I bringing this up? Because this is a special group of people here, right? And I want to try to inspire you. And I was just talking to my wife literally this morning about this. And my wife has been with me since we were in high school, 17. And when I used to teach in cafeterias, martial arts guys, when I would rent out a school system cafeteria, my girlfriend at the time, who's my wife now, she would go sit there and collect the $4 from the families as they came in. It was $4 a class. And I would teach in a cafeteria, and I would do that at a bunch of different schools, you know? And then I finally opened up a school that was 989 square feet because the people that I was teaching in the cafeteria wanted to stay with me. And then the reason I was talking to my wife about this morning was we were talking about the fact that we went to this event called Street of Dreams. And Street of Dreams happens in Central Florida, where you buy tickets and you get to tour like 6 different multi-million-dollar homes. You get to tour these homes, and they would have it in a different neighborhood every year, and it was called Street of Dreams. And we walked through that every year, but one year we went through it, and it was in a community called Lake Nona Estates. And I remember going in these homes, and I was thinking, I'm charging $50 a month. At the time, I raised rates, guys, from $4 a class to $50 a month. I said, I'm charging $50 a month. I'm teaching karate every day. How am I going to get to the point where if I wanted a house like this, I can do it? And I was looking, and I said to my girlfriend at the time, I said, hey, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure out how to do it. I'm going to figure out how to get there. So I went from $4 a class to just our martial arts schools in Orlando are doing over $6 million a year. And I say that because I don't post that. I say that because it was a grind. I didn't have direction, right? You guys have access to so much now, but I want to inspire you that no matter where you're at with your business, if I can do it with peas in between my freaking toes in a cafeteria at $4, you can do it too. You can do it. And by the way, here's something I just told my daughter last week. Do not sit on here and say, well, I don't need to make that much money. No one needs to, but I'm telling you, it's very nice when you do because of the things that you can do with it. And that's just the way the world's based on currency. And you should try to strive to maximize an unlimited potential for yourselves. But here's why I'm saying it. Because if you do an open house and you get 0 enrollments, don't get depressed and say this stuff doesn't work. Dust yourself off, figure out what you did wrong, figure out what you did right, and figure out how you can do it better next time, and go into the next month. And let's try again, and try again, and try again. I mean, and that's what I would like to share with you guys, because you're not always going to hit the home runs. You're just not. You're going to strike out sometimes. But do you notice, Chris asked me how many people, all right? Yeah, how many will come on? When we started this, we had what, 600, 500? What did we have, Chris?
Yeah, it was up there.
It was up there. Today, before we signed on, I said, I think 148 will sign on. By the way, Chris, I took a screenshot. It was 148. Did you notice that?
Yes, I did.
Okay. I called it 148, right? I had no idea, but I have an idea because I know people. And when things get hard, when things are boring, we run from it. We don't want to believe it. We don't want to do the work. We don't want to listen. We don't want to. I know what's going on. I've been doing this too long. For those of you who are on, I said this 2 weeks ago. Congratulations. You're still committed to at least open your mind and maybe get something out of this that you could take that's going to make you a little more successful. Some of you may not. Here's the deal. People that are saying, I'm not doing an open house, they won't come back on here. They're not smart enough to understand or think that maybe there's something else I can get from this. It's not about an open house, guys. It's not about a referral contest. It's about surrounding yourself with people that want to be successful and trying to pick up whatever you can to learn. And that's something I've been teaching my daughters. Keep an open mind. Always keep an open mind. You can learn from everybody. So congratulations to you. I hope we see you when we do the next one in a week with Q&A, and that you pick something up that's going to inspire you, to give you the hope and belief that you can be very, very successful and affect more lives than you can ever imagine.
So before we hop off, and I think this is a good segue. I truly believe I can overcome anything that comes my way in my business if I have the right mentorship, if I have a peer and accountability group, and if I'm resourceful. And you know, some of you are not leveraging this amazing resource that you have access to for free, which is ChatGPT. And as Mr. Metzger was talking, I just quickly put a prompt together specific to one of the questions that somebody had asked about getting the fire and police involved at the open house. So I just went to ChatGPT, let them know that we're doing an open house at my school. We're inviting people to the community. We're going to do martial arts classes, free food, raffling a bunch of fun prizes. I'd like to invite the fire and police to show up to the open house. Any advice on contacting them? I'm going to hit enter, and guess what it's going to do? It's going to give me exactly what I should consider doing. And it'll give me a step-by-step. And this is a phenomenal resource that all of us have access to. And especially when you're trying new things, this can be really helpful. And you can even take it a step further. It says, you know, personalized invitation. Okay, well, ChatGPT, can you formalize the invitation for me, please? And it's going to write it out. And while it might not be exactly what you should do, it's going to help you brainstorm on overcoming some of these challenges and questions. And of course, lean on us as an accountability group and for mentorship. But now I have the exact script that I could go to the fire or the police station and express exactly what we're doing in our open house and how we can invite them. So make sure, guys, that you are leveraging the resources, and ChatGPT is a really, really great way just to kind of brainstorm. Matt,
by the way,
wrap up. Yeah, go ahead.
It was Kevin, Mr. Kevin, my good man and good friend, world champion, karate combat fighter, great martial artist. But it was him that sent me the video. I didn't want to just throw the name, but he posted. They did their open house, followed all the steps, pizza bounce house. They got 26 new enrollments, 26 in one day. And we're trying to get you 30 in a month. He got 26 in one day. Are all of you going to get 26 in a day? No, you're not. Some of you are going to get 0. Some of you are going to get 40. But you keep trying and you keep making it better. And I saw the video. I watched the whole thing. He was the one who had the instructors there. They got pied in the face. They had demos. He followed everything. He did it all. It was phenomenal. By the way, if you want, if it's possible, Chris, can you post a video in the school platform?
Yes, sir.
So Kevin, if you could post that in the school platform, don't ask me how to do that. That would be a Chris question, but that'd be awesome for people to see that little edited commercial you have on your open house. It's inspiring.
Awesome. Well, before we wrap up, Mr. Dillard, if you could just one more time, because we had a bunch of people come on after your announcement, if you could just explain real quick about the coins again.
So again, so guys, please, if everybody could record your students who sign up, as we can keep track of everything inside the school platform. Chris, you went over that last week. Is that correct? Okay, so it's pretty easy. It's just a Google form. Fill that out for reference. I've sent out about 3,000 coins. I just got in there and added them up. We only have about 647 students accounted for in there. So we need to keep track of that so that whenever you guys, every time one of these coins get ordered, I get an email. So I'm going to bounce it off that list and make sure that you guys are, we're tracking what you guys say you are and getting the free coins accordingly. How you guys can order more. These are now live on Century's website. So for the free coins, look on the wholesale website once you log in, and you can just add this to your cart. And it can go in any one of your normal Century orders, or the shipping's on there for whenever it's not. And then anybody who wants to order extra ones, guys, we're doing the honor system here, so I'm counting on everyone doing that. But it's $2.49. They're at cost of those coins, and that's on the retail side. So if you just log out or don't log into the website, you will get that retail price. When you log in, you will get the free one. And the links are in the school platform, so they're pretty easy to access. I just put a post out there for everyone, and we'll get Ms. Rodriguez to pin it up there. And please, if you guys have any issues, I'm in that school platform. You guys can message me. It goes right to my phone. So I'll help with any orders anybody has any issues with. Happy to do so.
All right, guys, we'll be back at it 1 week from today. please use the school group. Don't, wait for your question. If a question pops up tomorrow, go in there. All of us are in there. We're active and we're really excited to see your successes. Share them. Any questions, drop them in, and we will see you in 1 week. Let's get to work. We'll see
Thank you,
soon.
guys. Thank you.